It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Wednesday morning, you bunch of creeps. We're here for the next 4 hours. That would be myself along with Paul Fletcher.
Oh, my God. Hockey's back today. The Beauty League starts at Braemar Arena tonight. I'm so excited.
First I've heard of it. I'll get there. And as far as the excitement goes, just give me a minute. I have to process.
It's fine.
Also, a big fan of hockey as well as Pabst Blue Ribbon, Ryder.
Yeah, child endangerment to the max.
Tattoo it on my chest.
Yeah, man. Child endangerment to the max. That's what today's episode is called.
Uh-huh.
But their bones are so bouncy, or what was it? I don't remember.
Their
Gorman
bones
in the
are fragile.
morning.
Fragile,
Yes.
yeah.
That's right. Child
Soft.
endangerment right here on your radio dial. I'm feeling Minnesota, Paul Fletcher. Give me some headlines.
A new docuseries covering the disappearance of Jody Huisentruit is coming to Hulu next week. Huisentruit, a TV anchor from Minnesota, went missing on her way to work the early morning of July 27th, 1995, and now a three-part series by ABC News called Her Last Broadcast, The Abduction of Jody Huisentruit, will air next Tuesday, featuring over 20 new interviews. By the way, her body has never been found.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
A little before my time in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
I am all ears and I will watch.
Yeah, you know what? I was here then, but I was starting my radio career. I was more worried about Jagger shots and finding girls that thought I was cute. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember. I know more about it since than when it actually happened. So
Goodness.
I mean, it was a huge deal.
It
There
was.
were billboards everywhere.
I'm sure.
And I think that there are, in some places in Iowa, I think that there still are. The search is still on.
Wow. One of the biggest and most notorious non-events in history is for sale. I'm talking about Firefest. Head scammer Billy McFarland is selling the brand on eBay. And believe it or not, after just one day, there have been like 99 bids with a total just over $200,000. Big Time Billy claimed he had a deal to sell the brand for seven figures, but then that fell through. Also, he could have just lied about it. Billy McFarland, if you remember, served almost 4 years in prison when the original Firefest fell through in 2017. An attempt to get it, Fire Festival 2 off the ground was also a bust.
Here, take a listen to his pitch.
Through all the noise, the chaos, the hype, and the craziness, Fire has had over 32 billion impressions online since 2017. Whoever owns the Fire brand will have an attention engine to launch festivals, do merch collabs, do insane pop-ups, run live streams, or build a media brand. The overall Fire brand, that's up for auction. Let's see who wants to smoke.
I tell you what.
This is the drawback to a society that says, don't be ashamed. We got to get rid of shame. No, we don't.
You know what, though? I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
Somebody could probably capitalize on this.
I mean, his term was attention engine, and that's accurate. The question just is it easier to start something from scratch or like turn the branding around on Fire Festival? Because everybody's just going to think it's garbage.
I'm not a fan of government overreach, but the government should just take that from him and give it to somebody.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Every year, the Great Minnesota Get-Together gets even better with new foods. The Minnesota State Fair has added 33 official new foods and 8 new food vendors to the Great Minnesota Get-Together. Some fair big hitters have new stuff like Blue Barn, O'Gara's at the Fair, Lulu's, and more. Also, cheese curd mutations are hot. I count 5 of 33 new foods as curds. So here's what I decided to do. It's way too many foods to cover them all. So what I thought I would do is I'd find one item that I thought each of you would like.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
All right. So, Steve, for you, I've got the Hula Kalua pork, slow smoked pork collar caramelized with Hawaiian barbecue sauce, served atop a charred banana leaf with banana chips and Japanese quick pickled cucumbers on the side. Yes or no? Oh, finished with a sprinkle of coarse red sea salt. Yes or no?
Don't leave out the red sea salt.
No, you got to have that. I absolutely, I prefer Himalayan pink, but okay.
All right, fair enough.
Full on would enjoy that. I was gonna go chicken fried bacon fries, but no, you've trumped me. I'll go with whatever that pork nonsense you just laid out. It sounds great.
That baby's at RC's Barbecue. Ryder, for you, I've got Freaky Fry Day. Chicken fried vegan bacon served with vegan fried chicken strips infused with bacon flavor. Optional toppings include mini donut cinnamon and sugar and maple syrup, pickle seasoning and ranch dressing, spicy buffalo sauce, and dragon dust. That's at the Herbivorous Butcher. Are you in or out on that?
Sure, I'll be in on that. I always get one of their crazy creations or whatever. They're like nuts. They always taste really good. I'm staring at a beignet and a cup of iced coffee, though. That looks damn tasty.
Fair enough.
For myself, because I am selfish, I've got the Hot Honey Jalapeno Popper Donut. Hand-cut, yeast-raised donut frosted with homemade jalapeno cream cheese, topped with crumbled bacon, pickled jalapenos, and drizzled with hot honey. I'm in on that. Oh, my God.
I'd eat a piece of my shoe right now. I'm starving.
Only
Bummer.
if it had pink Himalayan sea salt on it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne put on one hell of a historic show for their final performance, they managed to pull off a humanitarian feat as well. The Back to the Beginning show raised nearly $200 million in charity funds for Cure Parkinson's, Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Acorn Children's Hospice.
Wow.
This according to Rage Against the Machine's Tom Morello. And I was like, what does he have to do with it? Well, he served as the musical director for the all-day event. By the way, the stream peaked at 5.8 million viewers as well. So successful all the way around.
That is outstanding. When you want to herd that many heavy metal cats, get the guy that went to Harvard to be in charge of it. That's the lesson there.
Good call. Good call. The one thing that makes a hot summer day unbearable, in my opinion, is high humidity. But not all of us agree. Over 25,000 people were asked, how do you feel about high humidity? And not surprisingly, most of us are not fans. 77% feel miserable in humid weather, not human, including 48% who said they hate it. That's me. But 5% said they like it, and another 2% said they love it. So when the hot forecast looks hot, 7% of Americans are hoping it gets even hotter. I think these people are psychopaths, including my brother and sister-in-law. They love hot humidity. No.
I can deal without humidity on a normal day. When playing music outdoors, I always want it to be humid. I like to sweat, and the quicker I'm sweating, the more I feel like I'm into the gig. Nothing worse than playing drums in a hot, dry climate. That's the worst. Right. Well, no, it's second worst. A cold, dry climate is the worst. Like, say, Colorado. It's like there's nothing worse than a dry gig. I need the sweat, but otherwise, just walking around being a dude. Yeah, I used to be a big fan of humidity, and the older I get, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need it.
Oh, no. I hate the oven heat of the desert. Just turn my house into a freaking sauna for like 3 months out of the year. I'm good.
God, yuck.
Yeah, if we could get away with skipping the air conditioning, we can't because it's bad for the records. I would.
I love the air quotes that Ryder throws around.
Yeah, right.
Usually when discussing things with you and Mr. Ryder, there's a lot of air quotes.
That's 100% true.
We need the AC on to help preserve the records. But if we didn't, I'd just walk around in my house like a sauna.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, now we know Ryder can't be trusted. Anybody who's comfortable and uncomfortable cannot be trusted. An Ozzy biopic is in the works with a, quote, raw movie about his life, potentially hitting the big screen as early as 2027. Script is apparently done. A director is attached who is said to be, quote, absolutely phenomenal and, quote, a diehard fan of Ozzy's, with filming potentially starting in the spring.
Yeah, no one thought this was going to be Spielberg's last act, but apparently he's on board. No, wait, I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. I'm sorry. It's absolutely not Steven Spielberg. My bad.
Come on, that'd be awesome if it was.
It would be awesome.
Spielberg doing Ozzy, that'd be amazing. Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Hormel have partnered up for a new bacon cereal. You can get it now at Walmart, actually. Last year, these two gave us cinnamon-flavored bacon. Maybe you remember that. But now they're back at it. The cereal still has that same cinnamon taste. They've just added bacon flavor.
Oh, my God.
They've just added bacon flavor on top of it. Word on the street is it's a limited-time only thing.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no actual bacon in it, by the way. Like, bacon bits would have been interesting, but it's just bacon, artificial bacon flavor, which is dubious.
Pass or play on this. Who's eating it?
I just dip my bacon in milk and just cut out the middleman. Sure. That's what I do.
You know what, Ryder? To answer your question, I'm not. It doesn't sound like amazing to me, but I'd try it.
Okay.
The initial review. Steve, what do you got?
Well, I'm sorry.
Would you try it or no?
Sure, of course. I'd take one bite of just about anything. Yeah. Sure.
Great. I'm glad we have that on record.
Yeah, right? The initial...
That's a good general policy. I'll try anything once.
Okay.
Yikes. Go ahead.
The Minnesota Twins tried winning again, and it worked. Go figure. Last night, they just hammered the Chicago Cubs 8-1. 2 runs in the first, 6 runs in the 8th when they hit 3 home runs. Byron Buxton continued to play like an all-star. Started off the game very well. A leadoff double, scored from second when Jeffer stepped up and hit a double himself. It's just a good day to be a Twins fan. Simeon Woods Richardson, hey, he's pitching the ball over the plate again. 5 scoreless innings. His 3rd straight victory. He's now 5-4. The Twins in there. This is a 9-game homestand. They won for the 3rd time in 4 games. It's good to be a baseball fan right now.
Yeah.
I'm dumbfounded. I was having trouble sleeping, so I took the phone out and was like, well, I'll watch a little TV. And I saw the game was on Hulu. It was 2-0 in the top of the 8th.
Yeah.
And that's all further I watched. I tried to go back to sleep. You tell me it's 8-1, blew my mind.
Yep.
Nice work. Get the bats going, baby.
I went to the game to hang out for KQ night with some of our fans. Got a little behind-the-scenes tour.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Twins. I left at somewhere in the 6th.
Ugh,
So by
tough.
the time I got home and checked my phone before I went to bed, and it was freaking 8-1, I was like, "What the hell happened?"
Yeah.
I was
Damn.
I was on tour in Europe watching a playoff baseball game once on my laptop when that was still like a new thing you
Yes.
could do.
Okay.
And I was watching the Chicago Cubs, and they were about to go to their first ever World Series. You remember the Bartman play?
Yeah.
I fell asleep during that at bat.
What?
And that's when I dozed off. I
Come
was in Spain,
on.
4 a.m, and I woke up hours later, and I was like, "What in the hell?" I missed it by 3 pitches. Yeah, that was a good one.
Remember, I'm a diehard not lifelong, but most of my life Cubs fan. That was a brutal day.
That was certainly a brutal day.
It was awful.
Dallas Turner, linebacker for the Vikings, has had a pretty rough few days lately. Apparently the victim of a banking fraud scheme.
Oh, man.
Somebody got a hold of him and said they were calling from a Chase Bank branch, and they said, "Hey, man, you need to execute a wire transfer because somebody's hacked into your accounts, and they're going to take your money. So let us help you transfer your money to some different accounts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera."
Oh,
Long
man.
story short, he's out 240 large.
Jeez.
See, it's just easier to not have any money.
The bank is not going to call you and say, "Let's execute a transfer over the phone." Just word to the wise.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Wow, that's too bad.
Quick baseball note that does not involve the Twins, but anytime something happens for the first time in 36 years, I think it's worth noting. San Francisco Giants catcher Patrick Bailey came up in the bottom of the 9th last night with 2 men on base, trailing 3-1.
Okay.
And for the first time since 1989, he hit a walk-off inside the park home run while trailing by multiple runs. Down 3-1. Not only does he hit a home run to win the game, it's an inside the park home run. It's just a bizarre, weird thing you rarely get to see. It's worth tracking down if you have a moment. Crystal, we're happy to have you with us this morning, Crystal, Minnesota.
Hell yeah, Crystal.
Come on, Crystal. Stand up and be accounted.
The first record store I ever went to was in Crystal. That was
Isn't that nice?
Was that the original Down in the Valley Rider?
No.
Okay. But it was Down in the Valley.
It was
The look on Ryder's face. No.
I don't know. I'm just a legit question. I don't know when the first Down in the Valley
history
opened.
straight, young man.
Hey, I don't work there.
Was Minnesota one of the 13 original colonies? What the hell's wrong with you? That's the look on Ryder's face.
Okay.
Hey, let me ask you a question to you.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Good Wednesday morning. You ever have the universe smack you in the head for trying to do the right thing? It's probably a little more common than you might think.
Yeah.
To wit, as they say. A 59-year-old man in California driving along in Humboldt County. Now, that's Northern California, way above the Bay Area. That's at the Oregon border.
Yeah.
Redwoods, rural, dense forest. I mean, that's the middle of nowhere in California. He's driving along, and apparently he sees, initial reports were, he saw a black bear that had been struck by a vehicle struggling on the side of the road. Now, fun fact, a later report said he's actually the guy that hit the black bear. We're still not sure.
That makes more sense.
Regardless, he thought, I got to help that bear. I got to help that darn 400-pound wild animal that's writhing in pain. A good idea, I guess, on paper.
Yeah.
Good Samaritan.
Okay.
Well, it
it's
sounds
a freaking bear.
On paper.
The impulse is understandable.
Okay.
Let me help an injured, again, 400-pound black bear. As you
Okay.
might expect, he jumped out of his car, raced to the bear's side, and was immediately mauled by the bear.
God.
And the bear was injured. In fact, sad ending, the bear didn't make it. The bear was injured enough to where he did ultimately die. But you know what they say about an injured animal? Kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Don't corner an animal. Don't approach an injured bear. The bear clamped down on my man's arm several times.
Ugh.
If not for an off-duty EMT in traffic, because all the cars stopped at the sight of a large bear and a man on the side of the road, there was an off-duty ambulance that just happened to be there. The EMTs jumped out and were able to treat the guy's arm and get him to the hospital where he didn't bleed out, basically. Multiple injuries to the arm. We don't know how he's doing. The bear didn't make it, but I mean, it just makes me think, how many times do you try to do, in quotes, the right thing and end up just getting your ass handed to you for it?
I mean, the guy got beaten by a bear with one arm tied behind its back, basically, is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it just goes to show it's still a bear, injured or not.
Yeah.
And like you said,
it's a wild animal.
when it's injured, you don't encounter those. Like, that's nuts. So, I want to hear some stories. There's got to be some out there, right? I've got one, but I'll share it with you later.
651-989-ROCK. If doing the right thing ever got you into a jam. On the text line, someone said, my cousin stepped in when a guy was beating up his girlfriend in the bar.
Good job.
The cops showed up. She didn't want her boyfriend going to jail, so she told the cops,
Of
my
course.
cousin did it.
Of course.
Holy crap. First time I was ever in New York City. Was up there playing a gig way before our band had a record deal. I have no idea who thought we should go to New York and play a show, but we did. It was awful, but we had a great time in the city. Late at night, my singer and I, Robinson, were walking home to our friend's apartment, and we walked past an Irish pub, and on the sidewalk, there is a couple, and they're arguing, and the guy full-on slaps his girlfriend in the face right when we're there. So what did two Southern gentlemen do? We immediately just like, dude. And we go up and get in the guy's face. And that girlfriend hit me in the head with her purse so hard it damn near knocked me out.
Oh, man.
She was like, you go mind your own business. It turned into a scene from Saturday Night Fever all of a sudden.
Mind your own business.
She was like, oh, what do you... she just saw two guys she thought were going to be... By the way, the boyfriend probably could have wiped us both up. It wasn't like we were going to intimidate him, but we just thought we should get in between the two of them. Yeah, she really, really rang my bell with her purse.
Wow.
That was a fine moment. On the text line, Ray wrote in, I took the rap for a girl I was once into for a bag of weed in an effort to gain shiny night status.
Oh, that's like a serious gentleman move. Very chivalrous.
Hold on. Only for her to ask for a ride to a dude's house that she ended up marrying.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ouch.
Poor Ray.
That is an ouch.
That's a good one, Ray. That's all right, Ray. You win in the game of life. Fletcher, what have you got?
So my wife and I were at one of those outdoor malls, walking around, minding our own business. And, like they have like the street parking along a lot of the outside of the stores.
Yep.
This guy is leaning on the hood of his car, not leaning, but leaning against his car. And he asks if he could borrow my phone to make a quick call because he's having trouble with his car.
Okay.
I said, sure, because I'm nice. This is like probably 2005. I don't remember what kind of phone I had, actually. He proceeded to take my phone, get in his car, and drive off.
Oh, man.
Did he do this with great alacrity? Did he do it really quickly? Like you didn't have a chance to even think about stopping him?
He leaned for a second, like he started looking at it like he was going to make a call, and then he looked up at me and just to the other side of his car and took off.
Wow.
We had to drive directly to, it was Sprint at the time. We had to drive to a Sprint store and get my phone canceled. Like I never saw it again.
Sure.
Unbelievable. I was just like, I was dumbfounded that the balls of this guy.
You didn't see that coming?
No, I didn't. Truly did not.
The teardrop tattoos going down both sides of his face didn't tip you off that he's bad news?
Button-up shirt, man. Like, it was like just totally, it looked like a totally normal dude. I was absolutely dumbfounded. that would even happen.
That's pretty great. You know what? Kind of like Ray, I took the rap for a weed possession charge once. It wasn't to impress a girl. There was a giant bag of weed on a tour bus that I happened to be on. I won't name names, but basically we got popped in Texas at what they call a border stop. It was nowhere near the Mexican border, but drug dog comes on. All of a sudden, there's a giant bag of weed, and it's either the tour manager's sitting there with a felony for a big bag of weed, or everybody says it's all of ours, and we all take a misdemeanor. So, of course, it's like, yeah, let's do it. No problem. And all's well. And, in fact, we got taken down to a judge in Van Horn, Texas, who said, why did they bring you in here for weed? My mom has glaucoma. I give my mother weed. The judge told us that. She was so mad. She's like, get these people out of here. I don't care. But she still had to, but they still... It's still in the system, and she said, this will ultimately look like a traffic violation. Don't worry about it. Well, a year later, I'm flying through Chicago, coming back from a tour in Europe, and at passport control, the guy's like, have you ever been arrested? As he's looking at my passport. And I forgot about the thing in Texas because there was no handcuffs. It wasn't like we were actually arrested. And I said, no. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. And he looks at me and goes, you've never been arrested. And I said, I think I'd remember being arrested. Anyway, long story short, 90 minutes later, I missed my connecting flight. And it turned into a whole big nightmare. So I was happy to take the hit, keep a good woman out of jail. But at the same time, oh, man, it was the gift that kept on giving.
Unbelievable.
Let's talk shrimp and pork toast on a stick, for God's sakes. Oh, the foods being introduced for this year's Minnesota State Fair. A mixture of ground pork and shrimp combined with Hmong aromatics, lemongrass, ginger, garlic, shallots, and Thai chilies, seasoned with fish sauce, spread on Texas toast, and deep fried. Yes, thank you. Bring it over. I'm going to have. I'll have 2 helpings, and I'm going to imagine that's about 4,600 calories.
4,600.
Oh, I don't know. I look at all this. I'm putting on weight looking at the list.
Yeah, 100%. So I've done the work of scouring the list, finding one that I think will be huge, and one, or at least get a lot of attention, and one that will be a dud.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Let's start with the dud, just because. All right. Dill pickle iced tea, brewed black tea infused with dill pickle flavor and served with a dill pickle spear. I mean, enough with dill pickles. I love pickles, but enough.
My experience in Minnesota is that too many pickles is still not enough pickles.
Yeah.
No, that's true, but let's just have pickles. Go get fried pickles. I don't think we need them in black tea. I don't know.
Okay.
Pickles and lemonade was very tasty last year, and I have a hard time passing up a pickle beer. So, yeah, maybe if you're like, oh, you can only have one pickle beverage, I'm going to go with the beer, but...
You know what? The pickle guy at Big Pickle, they need to just calm down. Stop trying to get pickles in everything. My God. Take a day off.
Listen, man, next thing you're going to tell me that the lobbyists in D.C. should take a day off. Come on, man. Let the pickle people live.
All right, this one, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not sure if I want to try it or not, but I have a feeling it's going to get a lot of attention. A 4-ounce hamburger patty with cheese, pickles, and special sauce sandwiched between 2 deep-fried peanut butter and grape jelly Uncrustables.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of good reviews of peanut butter on hamburgers, even though I haven't had the guts to try it yet.
Yeah. So. I have as well. But again, the Uncrustables, the peanut butter and jelly is going to get people's attention.
Yeah, that's going to get that would get my attention, by which I mean I would eat that right now.
It sounds so good. And this is the last one I've got, because this is kind of maybe a diamond in the rough, if you will, or a what do you call it?
It's your sleeper pick.
My sleeper pick. Thank you for the word. Athena's whipped feta topped with shug, a Middle Eastern green sauce made with jalapenos, garlic, cilantro, parsley, and fresh herbs, drizzled with extra virgin olive oil and sprinkled with crunchy toasted wild rice, served with deep fried pita bread tossed in Dino's signature seasoning. That's it, Dino's Gyros. I think that sounds amazing. Whipped feta?
Hook me up to an IV with that.
Yeah.
Just fill me up. I'm down with that.
Slather me with whipped feta.
The Pixies are coming to town, and we want to give away some tickets. And not only are we going to give away some tickets, well, you're going to have to earn them. We're going to play a game that causes anxiety throughout the hills of KQ. Beat the Jock. Oh, Lord, help us all. That's in about 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the Morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Right now, what we have to deal with is Pixies tickets. We want to give a few away, and we can still use a few more callers. We got some people on hold, but hey, the more the merrier. 651-989-ROCK. If you want a chance to play Beat the Jock for Pixies tickets, then by golly, give us a call. Why don't you?
Or if you just want to look smart on the radio.
That's always a big plus, too. Looking smart on the radio doesn't happen around these parts as much as I would like for it to. I mean, we try. We make an effort every day, but, it's mixed results at best. Let's not kid ourselves. So are we ready to rock this, Ryder? What are we doing?
Yeah, let's get rocking with Brenda is the first one up.
Brenda in Maplewood. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning.
Well, I'm already feeling better. You sound like you're full of energy, and I appreciate that.
I am. Happy hump day.
All right. Happy hump day to you. I should probably not say that to a woman I don't know. So, Brenda, how about this? We're going to play Beat the Jock. Do you know how the game works? Do you understand what we're doing here?
I do, yes.
All right. Very, very good. So you're going to compete either against myself or Paul Fletcher, and it's your choice. Who do you hope to compete against here first?
Let's go against Fletcher.
Why?
Going against Fletcher. Headphones off, dude.
Unbelievable. Quit picking on me.
All right. Paul has removed his headphones. He can't hear us anymore.
All right.
And Ryder's going to guide you down the gilded path to success.
Okay, Brenda, you got 20 seconds to name as many, and we'll take old ones too, so past or present, as many cable networks as you can. Are you ready?
I think so.
Set, go.
All right. How about Disney? Does Disney count?
Yep.
CBS, ABC, NBC, the Discovery Channel,
Yep.
Weather Station, USA Cable, PBS, CNN, Newsmax, Fox, Paramount.
Steve, what did you get?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 11.
I got 12.
Oh, 12. Okay.
But I'm
All
kind
right.
like, if there's something that appears on the cable when you get the cable subscription, I'm saying that's good to go.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
So we're calling it 12.
Nice.
All right, Fletcher, I'm giving him the signal. All right, he's back.
What did we get?
We got a dozen, brother.
Are you serious?
You're going to need a baker's dozen in order to
I'm
beat.
so tired of this game.
In order for Brenda not to get those tickets, you're going to have to hit 13 because a tie does go to the runner.
I have watched a lot of television over my years.
Okay, so you're ready with your past and present cable networks. I'm going to start you in 3, 2, 1.
WGN, ESPN, CNN, MTV, TBS, TNT, USA, Nickelodeon, Showtime, the CW, A&E, AMC, Comedy Central, Discovery.
Got Discovery in. Oh my gosh. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14 is what I got.
Yes!
Wow.
Finally!
Did it. Brenda, I'm sorry to say you called in on the wrong day. Fletcher was ready to roar, and he did.
I'm sorry, Brenda, but it does feel good to finally get a win.
Hey, vindication.
That's right.
That's it.
Brenda, thanks so much for playing.
Thanks for listening.
We prefer to call it windication around here.
Oh my God, I can't tell you how much less stress there are on my shoulders now after getting a win finally, after getting my ass handed to me for weeks.
All right, nice job. Nice job. We'll give you full credit. All right, let's go to Deborah in Lake Elmo. Deborah, are you with us?
Oh, hey, Deborah.
Deborah.
Hi.
All right, Deborah, are you ready to play Beat the Jock?
Sure.
Okay, so Brenda just played against Fletcher, so that means you're going to go against myself.
Steve Gorman.
I will go ahead and remove my headphones.
Okay, take them off.
I think you're lucking out on this one. Steve, the category is going to be places people should not wear sandals, and I know that's going to be a toughie for you.
Because he thinks he can wear them everywhere.
That's not good for me. All right, I'm turning off my headphones.
All right.
All right, Brenda. So repeating, places people should not wear sandals. You've got 20 seconds. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Good luck.
Go.
All right. Horseback riding, riding a bicycle, at a factory, on a forklift, riding a motorcycle, on a farm, picking corn. That's it.
Fletcher, what'd you get? Because I was trying to be on the phone.
I literally counted with my fingers. I got 7.
7. Okay.
Very creative answers, too.
All right, let's get Steve back.
Yep, he can put his head and got your headphones back on there, son?
My headphones are on.
All right, sir.
All right, what do I have?
Okay, so the category, you need 7 places people should not wear sandals. Ready, set, go.
Airplanes, weddings, funerals, on a roller coaster, at a construction site, to an
7
ice
seconds.
rink, rock climbing, in a laboratory, in a fungal laboratory.
Fungal laboratory?
Fungal, I don't know.
We're not going to give him fungal
I was
laboratory.
picturing like going to the back rooms at the CDC. You probably want to cover your feet. I don't know. How many was that?
Are we giving him all of them?
I don't think I got the fungal in there in time.
No, fungal didn't count.
No fungal laboratory.
But unfortunately for Deborah, I still counted 8.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Damn.
I can't say them all back to you because they were all so bizarre.
Man, we're on a roll right here. Deborah, I'm sorry. I'm happy for the win, but I'm sorry you didn't get the tickets.
That's okay.
Thanks for playing along.
Man,
and some good answers, too.
Appreciate it.
Deborah had like horseback riding, a forklift, both really good answers.
Oh, yeah, those are good answers. Mm-hmm. I was just picturing all kinds of disease and germs and of course I'm saying this right now wearing sandals. So anyway, that's just how I like to roll. All right, well these Pixies tickets are still here. One of these days we will be giving them away. Gary Coleman, child star, Different Strokes. We all remember.
I loved him.
Different Strokes.
Oh,
little fella. Gary Coleman.
Yes.
In August of 2007, he married a woman named Shannon Price. A year later, they got divorced, but continued to live together.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't ask, I don't judge, whatever. We all have our own situations.
Yeah.
A few years after that, in May of 2010, Gary Coleman died. He had a fall in his home, and that led to a hemorrhage in his brain. After a couple days in the hospital, he was taken off life support at the behest of his then ex-wife. And so, at the time, it was a bit of a story because when she found her husband, in air quotes, and called 911, the recording did not do her any favors. She's refusing to listen to the operator's instructions. She says, I got blood on me. I can't deal with this. Just send somebody. She's acting very unusually. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 15 years ago.
Right.
No one's thought about Gary Coleman for a while.
Correct.
Now,
Except me.
tomorrow night
That's a
on
moment.
A&E, a new show will debut called Lie Detector, Truth or Deception. And a former FBI agent will give people lie detector tests. And for some reason, Shannon Price, Gary Coleman's ex-wife, the woman from that 911 call, the woman that his friends suspected may have had a part to play in his death, decided, I'll go on the new show on A&E. I'll have a lie detector test. I'm sure it will be fine.
Sure.
We have a little clip from the episode, which you can see tomorrow night.
The exam had to do with Gary's fatal fall.
Okay.
I asked you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall? Mm-hmm. You answered no.
Right.
I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results are, you failed that exam.
Oh, boy.
With deception regarding Gary's fall.
Shocker.
That's false.
Man.
Very intense music right there.
Yeah.
Very intense. I want to know which marching band they plucked the cymbal player out for those sound effects. Good work, kid. Man, so, okay, again, to set the table, there's a show on A&E where people will sit down and take a lie detector test. I assume that Shannon Price, she met Gary Coleman on the set of a thing they did together. She was at one time trying to be an actress, or she was an actress. Her career didn't exactly take off. Maybe she's just dying to be on TV.
Finger quotes.
But why in the world would you go onto a show where you're going to get hooked up to a lie detector test and take a polygraph?
Really? Are you asking why?
Yeah.
When the pot of gold dies, you got to do what you got to do to make money.
How much money can A&E possibly be paying someone to sit and take a lie detector test?
Well, that and, having your precious face on TV.
I guess it's that.
It's crucial. It's fame seeking and trying to recover from the gold digging.
Stock some shelves at Target. You know what I mean? No one's going to notice. You do something wrong there. So apparently, very much directly asked, did you have anything to do with Gary Coleman's death? And she showed deception. She was not doing it. Okay, I mean, this might sound like a crazy question. I'm not asking you about your criminal past, but have either one of you ever been hooked up to a polygraph?
No. But I would love to.
Nor have I. I don't know anybody who has, but I got to think someone out there has for some reason, either for an experiment or maybe you were just trying to clear your name. Mm-hmm. It's amazing to me with all of the, lie detector tests, as we all know, not admissible in court. They're not 100% or even close to it dependable, yet they still carry this sort of, there's a draw, I guess, for certain people. Plenty of crimes have been solved with the aid of a polygraph, which is to say, there are people who go through the test and then when pressed on it and told, well, it looks like you were lying, they cave and go, you're right, I did it, Yeah. But if they don't cave, the lie detector test is completely useless. I'll tell you right now, I would never take one. I would never pass. And not because I would lie. I don't think my central nervous system has ever recovered from growing up in a house where everybody was guilty until proven innocent. We had it backwards. And I understand it. My dad had a house. He had 8 kids, 6 boys. He was a Marine, and he just had one size fits all in meting out justice and vengeance. You know what I mean? So he didn't say who did it. He said all of you. Like, we all get, if somebody messed up, and it was all of our fault. I guess he thought he was trying to get us to police each other. But I grew up under suspicion. So even when I'm completely honest, I can come across like I'm, BSing. I mean, I feel it. Like, if there's a problem and someone says, as a kid in school, here at the station, if somebody's like, hey, who took my sandwich? I didn't, but I will immediately act guilty because I'm always under suspicion. I can never shake it. So all that to say, I don't think if I took a lie detector test and they said, is your middle name Andrew? I would say yes, and they would look at each other and go, he's lying.
I'm lying.
It's just my central nervous system. The damage has been done.
I think it'd be interesting to have this on the show. I know we've talked about it in the past, but it'd be cool to do this if we could possibly find somebody to administer. I'd do it.
Yes, I would love to see Steve fail a lie detector test on this show.
And by the way, I would do it because, as I've just explained, I'll fail. Make no mistake about it. 651-989-ROCK. Has anybody out there ever had a lie detector test administered to them? I want to hear from you. Text us or even call 651-989-ROCK. Talking about lie detector tests and the fact that there's a show on A&E that debuts tomorrow night where an FBI agent administers lie detector tests to, I don't know if it's all celebrities in air quotes or if it's just the average person, but Gary Coleman's wife, Gary Coleman of Different Strokes fame, who's been dead 15 years, his wife is on the premiere episode and she fails the test, specifically the parts where she's asked about her potential involvement in his death. Holy smokes. And of course, Gina texted right in, well, there's no statute of limitations on murder. So yeah, 15 years is not long enough. Gary Coleman's ex-wife, what are you thinking?
We just got a really cool text from New York. Said, never had a lie detector test administered on me, but read them all of the time. Failed polygraphs don't hold any water in court. However, post-polygraph interview admissions do. You best believe when people are told they failed, they get diarrhea of the mouth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't know that. I mean, we're just taking this person at their word. I don't know that this is true. Maybe we should put them on a polygraph, but I think...
Well, listen, the next time a detective looks at me and says, you failed the polygraph, I'll say, man, I have failed many, many a test in my life. It's not that big a deal. And then I would get up and leave the room before I admit to the crimes of which I am suspected.
Right, and they don't say that you're lying. They say you failed the polygraph test. Right. In the clip, the person administering the lie detector says that you were being deceiving, but they can't out and out say, yeah, you murdered the dude.
You know what? I keep having an image or a vision. I just realized what it was. Something about this. Remember the show that was it was on Showtime and it was great for a year and then it was okay for the second season and then it had like 5 seasons that were completely backcrap crazy called Homeland?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I loved that first season.
Yeah, first season was amazing.
First season. The worst CIA agent ever and a double agent. It's just like completely compelling television. But it might even be in the second season, or maybe it's the first. But the guy, Brody, the dude who was on Billions, the red-haired English guy.
Super red.
And in Homeland, he takes a lie detector test and passes. And he does it staring at Carrie, the CIA agent, and they're asking him questions that she knows the answers to. He's lying right through but he's staring at her while he does it. It's incredibly chilling because she recognizes, this dude's nuts. He's completely in control of his own central nervous system. I'm sorry, I had to get that out. It was going to drive me nuts if I didn't mention that. Great scene.
Post-polygraph, I looked this up. They are admissible, post-polygraph interviews, but of course, you have to have your rights administered or advised prior to.
Well, I would certainly hope so.
Right, but I mean, you may not give that up, or you may not agree to it, or whatever during a polygraph. So they've got to execute it correctly, but they are admissible.
So the hot tip here is when you take your polygraph, regardless of what they tell you, once it's over, just shut up.
Yep.
Don't say a word.
Yep, zipper.
Or just ask for more ice cream. Say things like that. Just complete non sequiturs.
Mm-hmm. Can I have a Dole Whip, please?
I think I'm double parked, officer. Things like that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Hey, did you know that Brendan O'Brien produced Pearl Jam? Say stuff like that.
That works for me. So no, I would absolutely, because you said this, we should do this on the show.
Yes.
If there's a way to actually get a polygraph test administered, yeah, man, I'd go for it. I mean, I already said on the show today, I would eat bacon-flavored Cinnamon Toast Crunch, so a lie detector test is nothing. I mean, if I'm going to put that crap in my mouth. Mike, Mike is on the horn, 651-989-ROCK. Mike, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What have you got for us, brother?
Well, you tell me. I'm the polygraph examiner. You got questions for me?
Whoa! Absolutely.
Bring it.
Okay, so if I understand this, the first few questions are just to establish what, like a baseline, correct? There's a handful of gimmies. Is that how that works?
Well, there's all kinds of different questions for various different diagnostic purposes.
Okay, so in an average test, or is there an average? Like, how many questions are you typically asking somebody?
Generally, you'll review about, in a typical specific issue polygraph test, you'll review probably about 15 questions where you'll administer generally 10 to 12 various different questions, 3 or 4 directly related to the fact.
And do you feel confident while it's happening that you can tell if the person's being truthful or not?
Well, I'm almost a 20-year examiner. I wouldn't be doing the test if I didn't believe in polygraph.
Okay. All right. How'd you get started in this? What was your background?
Investigations, law enforcement, private investigations, and eventually ended up going to polygraph school in Maryland at the Maryland Institute of Criminal Justice, and been a polygraph examiner ever since.
Right on. Have you ever had someone melt down in the chair, and confess to a crime because the pressure just got to them?
All the time.
Really?
Oh, yeah. All the time. Oh. It happens. Sometimes we're just the first person to ever be neutral. When an examinee comes in the room, a lot of times everybody's been accusatory with them up until that point. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people just want you to treat them with respect and hear them out. And sometimes that's all you got to do is just give them a chance to talk about it.
Man, that is really fascinating. So, I mean, obviously, everything I'm asking you stems from the fact that I've watched movies and TV about this, but I've never experienced it on any level in the real world. So it's probably not nearly as dramatic generally, but like you just said, occasionally it probably does. The room just has to blow up, doesn't it? I mean, there's got to be moments where you cannot see it coming, and then something happens like that.
Well, it's sometimes it's just a crazy day. Sometimes it can be a little predictive. It just depends on the day and who you're testing and what it's about.
Right. That's fascinating, Mike. So is this the kind of thing you can just, pop over and give anyone a polygraph anytime?
Well, you can have them look me up, assuredpolygraph.net. I run my main office is in the IDS Center here in Minneapolis. We have another office in northern Minnesota, and we have another office in southern Minnesota down in New Prague. But depending on what it's for, obviously sometimes we can't test it. Sometimes it's not in their best interest to be tested.
Sure.
had a case not too long ago where somebody called and consulted with me, and I just decided that it probably wouldn't be in their best interest to be tested. But a lot of what you get tested for here in Minnesota is in the sex offender region. They do PSOT, stands for post-convicted sex offender testing. As part of your terms of parole and probation, you have to go under polygraph monitoring. The other main issue is actually infidelity and sex-related issues and addictions, and that's where the private people are just going to call up and book an appointment.
Got it. Well, I'm still looking for a coffee mug that's been missing from the station for a while, so we might have to put a few of my coworkers through the test because I'm convinced one of these people took it. Mike, thank you for the call, brother. We got to hop. That is fascinating stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah. How about that? 20
Take
years.
care and God bless.
Yeah, 20 years of giving these tests, man. That guy's seen a lot.
He's just down the street.
Yeah.
Come on over, Mike.
All right.
Let's give Steve.
We'll see if Mike will chat with us in a little bit.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
On that.
Let's give Steve a polygraph for entertainment purposes only.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Paul Fletcher, tell me about some hockey information you want to share.
Oh, yeah. So the Beauty League kicks off tonight. It's only a few weeks. It's like 6 weeks long at Braemar in Edina. It's 4-on-4 NHLers and minor league players as well as promising college players. 4-on-4, there's not a lot of checking, so there's lots of scoring, lots of dangling and moves, lots of sweet shots, and it's all for charity. First game tonight, 5 o'clock. There's 3 games a night for $10. And again, it's all for charity. So come on out and step into a cool building on a warm summer day.
Yeah, awesome. And where is that again?
Edina, Braemar Arena. It's a gorgeous place. Yeah.
Are we going to hear any of this?
You guys need to get off the golf course. Yeah, we will. Go now. Pack up. Go now. You want another? You want to? At me. I got it all on record.
Are we going to hear any of that?
So this
maybe some Canadians.
I think this is the 8th season of the Beauty League. There have been 2 fights. One drew blood, so it does happen, but it's not. It doesn't happen often. There's more ridiculous skill on display than there are fights, but it can happen.
A whole different kind of bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, a whole different kind of bang, bang, bang. It's more boom, boom, boom.
Something tells me former enforcer in the league, Nick Tarnasky, who you just heard preparing to pummel a drunk golfer on a golf course. The video is all over the internet today. Nick Tarnasky is about to have a little run in the sun. He's everybody's favorite retired goon right now.
Absolutely.
If you haven't seen it yet, go find it. It is absolutely worth your time. Do something? Oh, sorry. What's that?
I was just going to say. I was going to add one thing. I coach the Anderson team, so if you want to come see me, and I'm using Ryder's famous finger quotes. I coach. Okay. What am I going to tell these guys? I coach Team Anderson. We play at 6:15. That's all.
SEN or SON?
SON.
Very important. Okay.
SON, yeah. Good call.
Got to make sure we know exactly where these people are hailing from. All right, very good. Have you ever done the right thing and had the wrong reaction or response? What happens when you think you're doing the right thing and the universe says, no, it's time for you to have your ass kicked? This happened to a gentleman who's 59 years old in Humboldt County, California. That is way northern California, up by the Oregon border. There's not a lot up there other than gorgeous vistas, tons of trees, and the occasional black bear. Dude is driving down the road, and a little sketchy on this detail, he either saw another car hit and then leave the scene, hit a black bear and leave the scene, or he himself hit the black bear. Either way, my man thought, there's an injured bear on the side of the road. Let me go help him.
Maybe the bear knew it was him. Maybe
injured,
the bear,
400-pound, full-grown, pissed off and in pain bear.
Yeah.
As you may expect, he walked over to the bear. I imagine he said something like, "Are you okay, buddy?" And then the bear, of course, mauled him on the scene. Just got a hold of his left arm and bit several times. The only thing that saved this guy was other passersby who had stopped their cars because his car had stopped, included an ambulance. Off-duty EMTs jumped out. The bear was so injured he couldn't run away, but once the guy got away from the bear, he was, in better shape. The bear wasn't chasing him. He was in too bad shape himself. Long story short, the EMTs grabbed the guy, They help him out on the scene, get him to the hospital where he's still recovering. The bear did not survive its injuries. So this is just a bad scene all around. 1 minute, you're being a good Samaritan. You think you're doing the right thing. And the next minute, you're in the hospital for having been mauled by a bear. Life is funny sometimes.
Guilt is a bitch, is what
I think that might be it, yeah. I would feel terrible if driving a car, if I struck a bear. And I can promise you, under no circumstance would I think to myself, let me help the bear. I might make a phone call to somebody and say, someone needs to help this bear.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy to do it. I'm not sure I would do that for... There's not many animals I would try to help because an injured animal is pissed off. You just don't want to get involved.
Well, and it is what it is. It happens, you know? I'd be also feeling bad for the people that are going to have to repair my car.
There's that, too. I saw a woman, I saw a man in New York City in a fight with a couple standing outside a pub late at night, probably in their mid-20s, maybe 30, young couple.
Okay.
They were arguing. The woman was yapping and yelling, and the man is yelling back and spitting. He's so angry. And in the middle of it, he slapped her. He grabbed her and slapped her.
Party foul.
And me and my friend said, hey, man, that's not cool. And we intervened. And her response was to crush me in the back of the head with her very heavy purse.
Oh, another party foul.
Immediately getting the response. Sometimes doing the right thing isn't going to work out well for you. I mean, she just cleaned my clock because, you know, she's defending her boyfriend who had just, again, slapped her. But
sure, sometimes
these things happen.
Yeah, that's that sounds like a bad situation that she's afraid. You know what I mean?
All I know is I was trying to help, and she took it out on the wrong guy. 651-989-ROCK. Have you ever done the right thing and had the universe say, no, not this time, Chief? No, you're not going to be the hero here. We had a text earlier. A listener said he took the rap for a bag of weed trying to impress a young lady. It was her weed. He said, nope, that's mine. And she responded by saying, oh, can you give me a ride to another dude's house who she ultimately married?
Oh,
ouch.
Man.
Yeah. That's a kick in the junk.
I mean, taking the rap on the weed, though, is the ultimate chivalry.
It certainly is.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him.
It's a good effort. You know what's funny? I had a situation once where my roommate's girlfriend got some really terrible news and was very upset. And she had come over, and it was just the two of us there. And I, in a way of just comforting, a friend, I just gave her a hug, and she was crying, like literally weeping. And I gave her a hug. I didn't know what else to do. My roommate opens the door, sees that, and even after he heard what had happened, never, ever could convince him I wasn't trying to pick up his girl.
Oh, man.
And I was like, dude, she's crying. She just got bad news. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? Continue to look at her from across the room awkwardly? It was a bad one. These things happen. What are you going to do? 651-989-ROCK. The last word today. For a brief, magical period of time back in the 1960s, the human experience truly peaked. We hit our apex as a species when Lufthansa, the German airline, served draft beer on their flights.
Wow.
Yes.
That's right. They rolled kegs up and down the aisles of their airplanes. There was a special pressurized system to handle the changes in cabin pressure. They wanted passengers to have a more authentic German beer experience. Kegs at 30,000 feet. Didn't last long.
I have so many questions about carbonation right now.
Yeah. There were logistics were complicated. The kegs are really heavy. Yeah. They took up a lot of space.
Yeah.
The right pressure had to be maintained so that proper flow could continue. It was tricky. And eventually the people at Lufthansa had to say, our practical considerations have to win. We have to go back to bottled beer instead. So anyway, next time you're on a flight.
Tragic.
You're drinking an IPA out of a can that tastes like it's been cooled and heated and recooled and reheated all right before you opened it. Just remember, we used to be great.
Imagine if they would have just dumped the kegs like they did poop balls back in the day.
Man, and these were these are wooden kegs. This is old school German good stuff right there. To be alive in the... Wait, I was alive in the 60s. What am I talking about?
And drinking beer?
Well, not legally.
Yes.
Tomorrow on the show, Brian Miller, a comedian who will be at Laugh Camp this weekend, will join us in studio. We'll be hanging out, and he's going to join us for a game of Rank You Very Much. So that'll be a good time.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Speaking of good times, Fletcher, what's coming up next on 92 KQRS?
I'm going to take care of a couple of holdover requests from yesterday. Thunderstruck for Greg and Johnny working at a gas station in Andover. I'm going to play Blitzkrieg Bop. I got Offspring tickets, boat cruise passes, and we'll go commercial free at about 11:45.
That's a whole lot to keep up with.
Gorman in the morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.